Welcome to Reality Creative Video. I'm Hermes, and I figured I'd give you an update on the Platinum dilemma. I am currently on test 24. Now, as you saw in the video, I had a successful test number 14, which gave me this batch right here of brownish red colloidal platinum. Well, I have not been able to duplicate the conditions to create that batch. I've had lots of failures. This here is almost a gallon's worth of what I'm calling very expensive Kool-Aid, colloidal platinum Kool-Aid. All this stuff suffers from the same thing. There's only about, all these batches, there's only about 300, what I think about 300 micrograms of platinum in there. And the rest is vitamin C, citric acid, and some flavoring and stuff. Like I said, very expensive Kool-Aid, if you want to call it that. So there's a lot of factors that created this first mix. It's very complicated, and I called it weird science because it's requiring a lot of chemistry. And there's so many elements going on that I don't know which ones need to be tweaked in order to make this batch. Now, I showed you a video of the caramel colored stuff. That is also a pretty weak solution. I can't say it says and the molecule is different. It's not like the particle in this. There's different kinds of platinum. Basically, on the internet, they say there's this brownish red one, and then there's this gray or black particle. Some of them hint around to a yellow kind of particle. So, but I don't know. I'm mostly getting the caramel color one, which is not what we want. And it's that one too is completely unreliable. There's a slightly different method to get the caramel colored one. Slightly different method. There's a very different method to create the caramel colored one. But it does not have the parts per million in it that you need. This picture here is of one of the better caramel color batches. It's almost transitioned to this brownish red stuff, but it didn't make it. So this is my latest batch. It's right now it's like a dark orange, and I need it to go to a dark brownish red. And I'm at 2 hours and 8 minutes. So we'll see what happens. This one took 12 hours. But I've learned a whole lot about the platinum process since then, and I'm hoping that I can get this to this red position a lot sooner than 12 hours. But that's not my primary goal. I actually don't care how long it takes anymore. I need to reproduce this so that A, I can give you the formula for it, and B, so that I can make it. As you can see, I'm running out. Well, not running out. I'm down halfway, and I've only been taking like a couple teaspoons a day of this stuff. So, but for those of you guys that are planning on cooking this, I don't see an easy way around it. There are things you're going to need. Don't go run out to the store yet, but you're going to need a pH meter, because the pH has to be monitored really closely, and you have to create a buffer solution. And you need different things, like this is a 7.2 pH water. This is 11 pH water. This is just zero water with nothing in it at all. And you have to monitor what's going on here. Every once in a while, I have to take a reading, a pH reading, and readjust it. And so it's a little tricky. I had to make a new top. I'll show you a picture of the new top. This brand new top I had to make just in order to make this process easier. This top has got a fan on it, which sucks the heat out, because otherwise we get too much heat in here, and the heat has to be controlled really precisely in order to get the reaction just right. Just like the pH has to be controlled really precisely to get the reaction just right. And I have to periodically check the pH, and then if it's not right, I have to go and adjust with my various pH water, different water thing here, to bring it down to 7.2, which right now is my target pH for this. So, I mean, fingers crossed, this is going to be the batch that I'm able to recreate this stuff. I mean, there is a lot of chem in here. All chem that we've used already in my colloidals, but there's a lot of different chem and new chem sitting in here to make this work. And I would love to say that you alchemists are going to just be able to, whip this together really fast, but you're not really. It's not going to be easy for you guys. If I can make it easier for you guys, I will. Like I told you, the power supply, you're going to need a current limiting power supply. Right now, I'm limiting the current to this at 254 milliamps. Now, if I didn't have a current limiting supply, I would have fried the power supply, because the resistance in the water is quite low. And you literally can burn up your rods and burn out your power supply. Now, then maybe there's a way down, to reduce that current flow down the road. But right now, I am looking to duplicate the process, just to get closer enough so that we can, together, once I can duplicate it and I'm able to share the formula with all of you, then you guys can go practice it on your own in a more or less safe manner, and maybe we can, collaborate on ways of making this process better for colloidal platinum. It's a tricky substance. It does not want to give up its platinum easily. The other problem I'm having is I have a 3-digit scale. I actually need a 4-digit scale in order to measure the weight loss on these platinum rods, because some of these runs that I'm doing, I'm only getting 200 micrograms off of the weight with the on some of these attempts, and I can't tell how much material we've dumped into these runs. I know the weight's coming down because overall I've lost about 10 milligrams of weight from when I first started. I believe this one has the most milligrams in there, of about 4 or 5 milligrams, I think, are in this solution. And this big jug down here is just a whole bunch of 200 microgram solutions, eating up the rest as the platinum rod gets depleted. But measuring the difference from one to the other is virtually impossible at this particular point. So I could use a 4-digit scale. I was just looking on Amazon at the price of 4-digit scale. So we're not going to get a 4-digit scale anytime soon. So we'll have to make do with what we got. So that's what's going on right now here at Haas Labs. And I know we got a new year is here, or going to be here very soon. It's New Year's Eve that I'm doing this video to you guys. And I will have a more video. I'm going to start the videos up again in the new year on a regular basis. It's just I wanted to devote my time to cracking this platinum. And it still is elusive. Fingers crossed, this will be the batch that breaks the elusiveness. We'll have to see. My chemist and I have been conference calling all week long to try to figure this thing out. I'm Hermes. This is Reality Creative Video, and I will talk to you again soon.